Hey everybody, welcome back to the vlog. Once again, it's tea time, and today we're going to be talking about Apple and Apple news. Well, if you guys hear like thunder and lightning, we're getting rocked here in South Florida. It's really bad weather. But anyways, on the Apple front, I was reading in some international news yesterday that I just have to talk to you guys about. And it's something that I was thinking about for a while, and even this was prior to Apple's whole iPhone slowdown thing and them being sued and the class action and all this stuff going on with the iPhone line. And I think it's going to happen with iPad also, but just Apple in general. Well, in the news, it was said that Apple's sales for the holiday season for the iPhone X were basically abysmal. They were just horrible. And Apple is saying, well, we need to do something to kind of stop the bleeding here. They had set up production of like 40 million units to be created, okay? Well, as of yesterday, it was said that they're going to be cutting this 40 million to 20 million, literally halving the production of the iPhone X. Now, that just got me thinking, you know, what is that magic number? You know, has Apple finally hit the brick wall where consumers will not pay $1,000 for a phone? You know, a product is only worth the amount that the market will bear, right? And maybe the market won't bear those numbers anymore. Now, Apple has said that they're going to increase production of the iPhone 7, the iPhone 8, and the 8 Plus to kind of compensate for this 20 million loss. But that's not really going to do it, I don't think, for all of the little small companies. But looking at what is the reasoning behind the cost of this $1,000 phone, and basically it's the OLED screen that they're using. Now, the OLED screen is being made by one company, and that is a South Korean company called Samsung, right? I'm sure you guys have heard of them. They're the only company that has been able to, quote, reliably produce quantity of these OLED screens. So Apple really has to get all of their screens from Samsung. Samsung is in the driver's seat. So do they care that iPhone X is not doing well? Yeah, probably a little bit, because it is going to affect their bottom line also. But the bottom line is they have their own iPhone. They have the Samsung S7, the S8, and probably soon an S9 to be coming out. So they're doing really, really well. So the thing here is that the iPhone X is, in my personal opinion, lackluster, all right? I mean, it gives you a few features like wireless charging, and I believe it has facial recognition, and a couple of other things, but nothing revolutionary, guys. There's nothing revolutionary here, all right? It's basically iterative. It's an iteration of the iPhone 7 and the iPhone 8, the iPhone 8 Plus. That's really about it. And all of that extra cost is on the screen. So my question is are people finally done with it? Did the price finally get to a point that people will say, I am not going to pay $1,000 for a phone? Now, don't get me wrong. You're always going to have the upper 2%, the upper echelons that will pay $2,000 for a phone. But in my personal opinion, unless the phone, I don't care if it's Samsung or if it's Apple, if the phone doesn't do something to give additional value to it, additional worth, I mean tangible worth, like it's going to make my life less miserable, you know, it's going to make me more money, it's going to somehow affect me and what I do and my bottom line or whatever, and not just simply as a luxury item, I don't think that any company is going to be able to come up with a phone that is going to cost over that $1,000 line. I think that is the brick wall, and I don't think any company is going to break through that brick wall anytime soon. Now, there is technology like VR and augmented reality and this kind of thing that is going to be really cool once it's really built in, that works well. I don't think that people are going to spend this money. I think that that $1,000 is going to be the limit. I don't think people are going to pay it. They're going to say, you know what? I would much rather just buy an iPhone 8 or I'll go buy a used iPhone 7. It's going to do basically the same thing, right? Right now, guys, we're living in a time, as I call it, a good enough time. And what do I mean by that? I mean, that includes us as photographers. Many people that are coming to us for work, they're like, we don't really need a professional. We can take our portrait shot with our iPhone. Because why? It's good enough. We're not going to hire a really good professional photographer for our wedding because we know we can get Sally over here or Bob to go and do it for half the price. They're not maybe as good, but you know what? The pictures are good enough. This is happening throughout the industry with ad agencies and ad design and movies even, guys. Things are just happening that they weren't the same 10, 20 years ago when we weren't living in this good enough era. And I really do think that that is the case. So what is good enough, guys? What is good enough? I personally think an iPhone 7 or an iPhone 8 is good enough. I wouldn't purchase, and I said that when it first came out, an iPhone X. That's my personal opinion. So my question to you guys is, what do you use? Are you using an Apple device, an iPhone? If so, which one? Or are you using like an Android, like maybe a Samsung? And which one do you use? And why? What is the reasoning behind it? Is it cost? Are you purchasing the most expensive? Are you buying iPhones the minute that they come out, like we all used to years back? Are you? Also, what do you think about my theory on brick wall $1,000? Is that $1,000 the brick wall for any phone? Or do you think that another company, or maybe even said company, Apple or Samsung, can come up with a device that will make you spend $1,000 for it? My thoughts are simply this. Apple has hit their limit. That's my personal opinion. I also think the iPhone X price is going to slowly drop. I think we're going to see $899 not in the too distant future. And I also do think that this escalation of price is going to stop. I think we're now at a point that this is it. Enough is enough. And we're not going to see them going up any higher than that $1,000 mark. So what do you guys think? As always, put those comments in the comment area. Let's have a discussion back and forth. You guys are awesome. I love responding to every single one of your questions or comments. It's so just fun for me, and I just love you guys for doing it. It's awesome. Also, if you enjoy my content, please throw me a big thumbs up. That would be awesome. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can get all my nonsense when I make it available. And click on that little notification button so when I do make it available, it'll buzz you and say, go and take a look at what he has created. And finally, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find a lot of photography tools that I've invented for you and me over the years. So please pick something up if you so desire and support me. I appreciate it. We'll talk to you soon. We'll see you in the next vlog. Take care, guys.